Is this on? I hope it's on. All right.
So, to all of our viewers, we're really sorry that there's been a big gap in between last episode and this episode. I just haven't had the time to actually sit down and record it and make it all look pretty. That way I can finalize it and post it. We have a lot of content recorded in the meantime throughout this gap. So, for the next few weeks, expect at least one video every single week. And that's also going to be a standard that I'm going to hold to myself for posting for the weeks to follow. At the very minimum, it will be posted once every other week, but once a week should be the expected goal. Again, we're sorry that there's been just a huge gap. Thank you for sticking with us and enjoy this episode of Two Peas in a Pod. Okay, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Is that your way of starting this?
It is my way of starting
and
it.
it's spilling on yourself?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I have a problem with drinking cans and missing my mouth.
Do you actually? That's a real problem you have? I think it's
a real condition.
I'm watching you do this, and you put your upper lip towards the top of the can. you don't need to.
I do that with
swallow the can.
I do that with the water fountain. Like,
Gosh, you're one of those people.
yeah,
Oh
like
my
let's say like this
God.
is the water fountain nozzle. I go like this, and then I turn it on because then it explodes in my mouth and it's like a little bomb, and it's just a little, I don't know, it's a little surprise.
That's why you're spilling on yourself.
Yeah.
You just do the bottom lip. You just kiss it. You just kiss the bottom.
I know.
of the
I
can.
probably with what I do now, I probably have hepatitis A through Z, but who knows?
I would imagine. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Well, what's our topic for the day?
Well, I did say we want to talk about Batman
Right.
because we just saw Batman the other night, and it was his first time seeing it. It was my second time seeing it, and that was the first movie I was willing to go pay to see in the theaters twice.
You liked it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think it was the best Batman movie I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I love The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
but
You've come around back on that. You didn't always say you loved The Dark Knight.
I don't like The Dark Knight Rises.
No, that's fair.
The Dark Knight, because you know what it was, dude? It was because Heath Ledger's Joker, every single,
It
like...
was amazing.
Yeah, but then every single, like, emo kid in, like, high school,
Yeah.
like, wanted to be him. And, like...
That's probably true. I
yeah,
didn't go to
and
high school during
it
that.
ruined it for me. I hate things that everybody else likes, because when everybody likes something, I hate it.
Yeah. So you just march to the beat of your own drum.
I do march to the beat of my own drum.
Proudly so.
Like no, 100%. That's
Yeah.
why I sold most of my sneakers, because everybody started wearing the same shoes as me, and I'm like, no, screw you. I'm gonna be different now. Oh yeah, I made progress. I sold 23 pairs of shoes in 4 days.
So legit. And how much money did you make? Should we say that on the pod?
About like $3,000,
'Cause
$3,500.
You're selling Yeezys. You're selling
Yeah.
like top
Yeezys,
of the line.
Jordans. Yeah, just your basic boy
Yeah.
shoes.
Basic boy.
Because I had an
that.
epiphany
Yeah.
of like, I was at a concert. I was at a country music concert, and it was a cover band. And like, I'm like, everybody here's stepping on my shoes, but I can't get mad at them because I'm in a crowd. Because it was like a
Right.
general admission
Yeah,
concert,
sure.
where there were like no seats or anything,
Mhm.
and it was actually out here in La Jolla. I don't remember the name of the place, but yeah, and everybody was like stepping on my shoes, and I was like, I can't get mad at them, and I'm like, nobody here cares. Like, nobody here cares about what shoes I wear. Nobody here cares about that. I was like, honestly, I feel like nobody's going to look at my shoes, and when they do, it's other men, and I don't care if other men are complimenting
Yo,
me.
sick Yeezys.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And then just keep it pushing now. So, yeah, I sold my shoes. I made a profit. I put the profit to
Seems like a good
something else, like a down payment on my new Jeep.
Which are you still gonna sell?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, I got a new Jeep. A lot has happened for me.
Yeah, lots happened
From-
for you.
from our last
You're so
episode
different.
to this
I'm the
episode.
same. I'm very stable.
Harry is very, very... No, nothing different has happened with you?
No, I don't think so. I'm the same as I was, dude.
You're the same.
I don't change.
No, you
Mark
don't.
said that to me today.
Really?
Our Muay Thai coach, he came up to me and he's like,
Were you training him?
No, I just was going to shower. He was like, you don't change. You don't change. You look the same. And I've known him 12 years. So it's not really a compliment because he's saying I still look 14. And I'm like, you too, Kramark. Because this is actually true. I've known him for 12 years, and he still looks the same. But
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I did see a picture of you the other day of when you were younger. Cause Alex, one of our buddies, Alex at our gym, he like I guess posted like a photo from like an old like epic fight, and it was like the whole team, and it was like him, you were in it, Lil Bull,
yeah,
basically like Squid Vicious was in it. Everybody who just isn't on that team anymore,
right? All of this retired, folks.
Yeah, was in it, and I was like, wow, Harry looks young, and I looked at the year, and it was like maybe like 2012, 2013, and I'm like, wow, Harry was like my age.
Yeah.
In this picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
I've been there a minute, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it was, at a fight, so I'm like, okay, he was probably dehydrated and everything like that,
Yeah.
probably. So I was like, because you looked really skinny in that photo.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know what photo you looked at, but maybe
You've done so many fights that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sold all my shoes. I got a Jeep. I am now officially a part of the Jeep family.
But you were thinking about selling a Jeep to get a Prius.
Yeah.
Still thinking about that?
Yeah, because of the gas prices. Because, it's costing me $200 a week to fill up my Jeep. Because it's $100 every 4 days.
Yeah.
And there's like 8 days in a week. So, yeah, it's killing me.
Yeah.
But it pays off. Because I've literally had people who I work with who, they'll come up to me and they'll be like, I didn't like you before, but I like you now that you drive a Jeep.
And those are the kind of friends you want.
No, it's not that. It's just, maybe this pays off.
Yeah.
Like when I don't say I'm getting into my car. I say I'm getting into my Jeep.
Right. No,
So
it does sound better.
It puts you on a different status. Also, the reason why I got the Jeep was just because I went to go see Justin Bieber in concert, which is the best, the best way to start why I got a Jeep. And the person who I went with, my friend, she pulled up to my house, and I had her park in my parking spot because we were going to take my car. And she had a better car than me.
Yeah.
Like, she had a white BMW, brand new,
Yeah.
Not a scratch on the thing. And the BMWs, when you open the door, I told you this, like, flashes on the ground, the BMW logo like it's the bat symbol. And I'm like, yeah, let's get into my crappy little Hyundai.
Yeah.
Where you open the passenger door and it creaks and clicks 3 times, and it hums when it goes over 60 miles an hour, and it screeches every couple of minutes, and I'm like, yo, there's no way that she has a better car than me. And I'm like, you know what, this is it. Like, I came home one day and I was like, I'm getting a freaking Jeep. Like, this is it. And then it also turns out that she also owns a Jeep. Because she's like, oh, well, we're matching now. And it turns out her Jeep is better than mine. Because it's newer.
Can't beat her.
It's lifted. It has an exhaust.
What's her name?
What?
What's her name?
Her name is Rebecca.
Rebecca. Keeping Up with Rebecca. That should be your...
That's our merch. Keeping Up with Rebecca.
Keeping Up with Rebecca. That should be a side YouTube channel where you just try to match Rebecca and stuff that she has.
Yeah, and everything that I have, she'll just have, but just
Yeah.
the same thing, just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, now she has a car and a Jeep.
She's still beating you.
Yeah.
BMW and a nicer Jeep.
And
2018.
a nicer Jeep, yeah. But I love my Jeep. I love
So
her.
you're going to keep it, not go get a Prius.
I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it.
That's a good call.
Yeah. I think right now, the only thing, it's just because I'm doing a lot of driving, because I live so south.
Yeah.
I live all the way near the border. So, for those of you who are watching, who aren't familiar with how San Diego is set up, San Diego is literally right by the border of Mexico, and I live,
For all our international viewers.
Everybody who's listening around the world, and we know that you are.
Right.
We're right by the border. I live right by the border. La Jolla is 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes from the border. But I'm thinking about moving. I was actually looking at houses in Pacific Beach. But let's talk Batman. Let's talk how
Let's do it.
Robert Pattinson's my dad.
Yeah, I think you should expand on that statement. What does that mean?
I think he's the best Batman so far. Wow. I think so. Let me elaborate.
Yeah.
I think he is the best Batman, but not the best Bruce Wayne.
Okay. You know what? I actually agree with that statement. Because
okay, continue.
the one thing I like about his Batman, better than Christian Bale's Batman, is that cheesy Batman voice that's like,
I'm Batman.
yeah, Rachel, where's Rachel?
Okay,
You know, that thing. It's so throughout the movie you get so irritated. Like, why are you talking like this? Like, I understand like trying to mask his voice, but it's just intense. Like,
he does it, but it's not as crazy.
Yeah, his is more like it actually sounds like a human.
It sounds like, I think when you look at his Batman, it is exactly how it was in the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight series. The Arkham series video games. Mm-hmm. Even the way he fights, because you mentioned it. You were like, oh, I don't like this, how it's just the way he fights. Da, 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 da. You know, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, because that's how it was in the video games, and the Arkham video games are sick. But I think George Clooney is the best Bruce Wayne. Because... Who is Bruce Wayne? Bruce Wayne's supposed to be this playboy billionaire.
Right.
Kind of like Tony Stark,
you
know? But everybody already knows Tony Stark is Iron Man, so that's kind of different. But if you look at like Tony Stark, like, you know, when he is Tony Stark, he's the playboy billionaire, you know, pompous, nobody can touch me. And then when he's Iron Man, he gets down to business. But Robert Pattinson, you know, like, he's a sick Batman. Yeah. But then he's like, so far the Bruce Wayne that he's played, it's like, I have all this money and I really don't care.
Right.
I've inherited my family's company, but I really don't care. I don't care that I'm
He cared about being Batman. He didn't care about any sort of presentation. We should have mentioned, I mean, obviously, if you're watching this, you know, if we're talking about the new Batman.
Spoiler. Yeah, like, it's already been out for like a week as we were recording this, and it's probably not going to be posted for another week, so that means the movie's already been out for 3 weeks, so you're wrong for not watching Batman
this
already.
Is your fault.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
So...
That's the name of this episode, it's all your fault.
I like that. He cares more about being Batman, that's the legacy. I am interested, though, to see if they have to, I assume, in the next coming series, if he steps more into the billionaire...
Yes.
Mode where he's like, okay, he starts to show face, and if they clean Robert Pattinson up, that would be interesting. I'd like to see that. And
what I liked about that movie too is that it's just a building block movie.
Yeah,
it was a great movie, but like, now that movie, they can do so much off that movie. They really set that movie up for its sequel, because now it built up the Penguin. And I like that they did something different with the Penguin.
Yeah, I do too. I actually like this Penguin.
I do. And I didn't like...
The first Penguin?
I didn't mind him.
I hated him.
No, because they made him like a freaking penguin. They made him like this gross, fat, old geese.
But I couldn't even look at him. It was
that's who the Penguins were supposed to be. Disgusting. He was eating raw fish. His fingers were doing this thing. Like, you know, like how...
So gross.
But this one, you know, is also cool because that's, in the comics, that's really what the Penguin is too, you know? Right. He's more of a mob boss.
Right.
But also, you know, I feel like now when I say the comics, there's so many different alterations of the comics, because so many different people have written these comics, you know, so it's like, what comic are you going off of? But I feel like what they did, no matter what, the movies are always going to be different than the comics.
Right.
But also, I feel like I just like this version of the Penguin. I like that they're going to set him up for the next movie. I like that they're going to set up, you know, they can still set up the Riddler. They're going to set up the Joker for yet. But I feel like when you have Batman, you have to have the Joker at some point.
I love that character. I don't think anyone will beat.
It's like Venom and Spider-Man. You have to have Venom and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's true.
Like, the Joker is Batman's number one villain.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
I don't think anyone will beat Heath Ledger's Joker, in my opinion. I know you have scars from high school, but
I'm more of a Jared Leto Joker myself.
Stop. Slippery slope. I know you're kidding, because that's not a real thing. So that's not a real opinion.
No, honestly, no. Heath Ledger's Joker is really good. I love Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah, and that's a really different approach to the Joker, but it was phenomenal. I mean, that was such a good movie. Not a Batman movie. Obviously, it's a Joker movie, and it's a much more like realistic version. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is phenomenal. Very different, like almost incomparable, because they're going for such different things. That wasn't a classic Joker.
It was different.
It was super different. It was really cool.
It was, yeah.
It was so dark. I mean, that movie was really dark.
It was. That whole thing with, like, his mother and
gosh.
meeting that girl and how it was, like, an illusion and it was, like, a hallucination. Because for, like, 40 minutes of that, because I watched that movie on a plane.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a plane going home to New York, and I watched it. And I gasped when that part came up where, like, they revealed that it was an illusion that he was or a hallucination where he was dating that girl, and I was in the middle seat, and I flew Spirit Airlines. Never fly Spirit Airlines.
You were middle seat Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, because I like to be back row.
All they let you have is a little fanny pack.
Yeah, because I like to be the furthest row to the back.
Yeah.
That way I'm closest to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Just in case of, like, an emergency. And also because I don't sleep on planes. And, you know, I always get the overnight flights. So I like to just load up on coffee on the plane. You know, because the coffee's complimentary.
Why don't you sleep on the plane?
I just can't fall asleep.
Okay.
I can't fall asleep in the upright position. I'm never the type I can't fall asleep in a car. Like, if I'm sitting in a car ride, I can't fall asleep. Unless I fully recline back and you know, I can't do it. It's just
cars
not me.
put me to driving when it's warm, like 2:00 warm, driving in a car, I'll pass out.
Like, once, like, 10 o'clock hits, like, that's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Unless I'm out, like, out. Like, I'm out for the count,
Yeah.
honestly. You know.
Is that what time you go to bed?
That is the time I go to bed.
You typically go to bed at 10?
Typically at 10. Yeah, because you know, a man needs 7 hours. I feel like that's, like, the golden hour of sleep.
Well, because you have to wake up early for your work.
I usually on a day-to-day basis, I wake up at 5, and then I do my cardio for 40 minutes, fasted, and then I go to the gym, and then I go to work. And then, you know, I go train afterwards, and I try to go to bed by 10, and then that'll just give me 7 hours of sleep.
Okay.
You know, like, yeah, just an early start to the day.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
What time do you normally go to bed at night?
I try to go to bed by like 11.
Okay. What time do you wake up?
But I wake up at like 8.
That's like, what, 8 hours right there? 8,
Yeah.
9 hours of sleep. Must be nice.
I need it.
Nice.
I slept 11 hours last night.
I slept 3 by choice.
Uh-huh.
Like, I set my alarm for 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I was like, all right, I'm going to just get up, have my coffee, go gym tan laundry, and then come here for the pod. But I was up all last night watching The Sopranos, which I highly recommend you watching.
Yeah.
It is so good. And it's just one of those shows that every episode leaves you off, like, on, like, a minor cliffhanger where you're like, well, I want to know what happens next. You're like, all right, one more. Next thing you know, you're like 6 hours in.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. I came home at like 10 from the movies last night, and then I was up since 4 watching that show.
What'd you see last night?
Morbius.
Oh, that's right. You're telling me about it.
Yeah.
So let's circle back to Batman.
Okay.
Did you like Christian Bale's Batman? Or not Batman, I'm sorry. Did you like... Well, let's talk about... Did you like his Bruce Wayne?
His Bruce Wayne wasn't bad. Okay. I got to brainstorm now. So, George Clooney was a great Bruce Wayne, but a mid Batman. Robert Pattinson was a great Batman, but a mid Bruce Wayne. I think Christian Bale was a decent balance of both, but he wasn't great at either. But he was a decent hybrid.
That's a decent perspective.
Yeah.
Because I did like his Batman, and I thought I loved his Bruce Wayne. I thought his Bruce Wayne was great. He was cool, calm, collected.
He was interacting with the public like a normal millionaire.
He could put on the billionaire vibe, but he also very easily
he put on the Batman thing.
Yeah, and you could tell what he actually cared about,
especially in Batman Begins, because I did rewatch Batman Begins, and he was more Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins, because he was still learning to be Batman. But even in The Dark Knight Rises, that movie it just wasn't good. It was because you know what it was. It was too long.
What do you mean? The new Batman's 3 hours long. It's like the same.
But it's good. It's great.
I need to rewatch The Dark Knight Rises. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was good.
It had its moments.
It definitely was not the best Batman movie.
It was a movie that had good moments, but it just I want to watch it. It just dragged out, and I just got bored. Maybe we can have a movie night and we could just watch the whole Dark Knight series together.
We should do it.
And just that way we can really compare. But no, because the first time I watched the Batman, Robert Pattiwaddy's Batman, I was like, wow, this is long. But I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. It's freaking good.
No, it was really good. And it did feel long and it felt slow moving, but it was good. It was enjoyable. I will say I want to go back to the physical combat thing that you mentioned because I didn't like the physical combat as much as I did in The Dark Knight. And what was cool about Christian Bale actually studied Krav Maga, he learned some jujitsu, it's very
in real life.
Yeah, in real life to prepare for the role. And you see that, you know what I mean? I think there's a time where there's he does a flying triangle and there's I mean, it's very cool because it's there's real martial arts. This is real Krav Maga, in the combat. Whereas this Batman was just, this is just him just going berserk.
But no, but what I liked about that is that it just made me feel like, okay, I'm watching a superhero movie. I feel like I'm watching a real life video game, a real life comic, because. Have you ever played the Arkham video games?
I only played one of them very briefly. I didn't really like it.
You have a console, right? You have what do you have, an Xbox?
Yeah.
You need to play them.
Yeah, I have a PS4 now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, well, it was given to me. My buddies...
Oh, we have to play PS4 together.
I'm down.
Dude.
I'm playing the Spider-Man game on it right now.
Oh my god, you need to play the Arkham series. So there's 3 Arkham games, to my knowledge. There's Arkham Asylum.
So you like those games.
They're very good story mode games, and they have great side quests. They're like Assassin's Creed, basically.
No, I like story mode games. I think I tried it and I didn't like it, but
oh no, dude,
maybe I'll try again.
So Arkham Asylum was really good.
Yeah,
and then it's the sequel to that is Arkham City, which is really freaking good. Yeah. I've played that game 3 times from start to finish with all the side quests. Okay. And the more you do the side quests, the better the game gets. And then Arkham Knight is even better.
Wow.
Yeah, they're so it's like Assassin's Creed. It's like one of those or like Spider-Man, where it's like one of those free roaming games where it's like, you want to do the main mission to continue the story. You go to the objective point, but then there's also the side quests where you get to face the other villains, but even though while you're playing the game, you face different villains throughout the game, and that's how Arkham City is, but it's so good. And then you get to play as Robin and Nightwing throughout the dude, just get them. They're so freaking good.
No, I'll play it again. I don't know why. I remember playing it and I didn't like it, but I didn't play all of it. I only played I don't know, something about it. I don't remember what it was. So, but I'll give it another shot.
Yeah. And also in those games, when you play it and you see the fighting style, you'll see just think of Robert Pattinson's Batman, because that's how it is. It's punching really, really, really fast. There's a point in the game. There's a combo in the game. I remember where Batman runs and he jumps and steps off of one henchman's chest and kicks him, and then does a flying elbow strike to the other henchman, and then he'll do a backflip with a corkscrew on top of the initial henchman, and then just start UFC pounding them. Wow. Yeah, and it's the sickest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just reminded me. That's what it reminded me of. But great, just overall great movie, and I like that they used the whole Falcone thing, because that was a villain that you've never seen before, and me being the Italian guy that I am, with the whole mafia thing, I thought that was sick, and I just love how they just literally took New York City and just replaced everything that says New York and just replaced it with the word Gotham.
Yeah.
Because in the movie they went to Gotham Square Garden,
right,
which is just Madison Square Garden.
Madison.
Even though they use even in the smallest thing, Bloodhaven, right? That's upstate Gotham, but New Haven is upstate New York. But even in the comics now, that can also set up Nightwing, because for future movies, because Nightwing, when Robin turns into Nightwing, he goes up to Bloodhaven and he becomes the superhero in the city.
How big are you
into
comics? Did you read the
Huge.
comic? Really?
Huge. Yeah, I was fat, awkward, and nobody liked me as a kid. So comics and WWE were my escape. Wow. And Star Wars. Yeah. I was that kid. I read comics. I had all the toys.
I've watched all I've watched all like the cartoons. I've seen it a lot.
Wow.
Especially because my uncle Dominic, like he was really big into that stuff too. So like I was able to talk to him about it, and just him being so much into it made me want to be into it more.
Yeah. You're just so eclectic. Like into comics. Like I feel like people who are into comics aren't also the same people who are into like Broadway musicals. Who aren't also the same people who are into like MMA and WWE and whatever.
It's so
who
funny.
are also not the same people who are interested in like pastoring. Like it's just you're just a very
I'm a very versatile man.
Ooh, yeah, you're very eclectic.
I'm
captain of your bowling team apparently, right?
I was the captain of my and the wrestling team.
Were you homeschooled? How many people went to your high school? Were you the only person in your high
So
school?
my high school was weird. If you're New Yorkers watching this, you already know how high schools in New York are. So my high school, Lafayette High School, used to be it's one of the oldest schools in Brooklyn. One of the Brooklyn Dodgers players, Sandy Koufax, actually played for my high school back in like the 40s. But in like the early 2000s, it got so bad. Like it was such a ghetto, bad, crime-filled school. Like there were legit gang violence in that school that they wound up shutting it down for a couple of years. And then they did what they did with a lot of schools in New York, where they reopened it and they ran it kind of like a charter school, even though it was a public school, where each floor was its own individual school.
Oh.
Yeah. So like my school was on the third floor, and I went to Life Academy, the school for film and music. The fourth floor was the high school of sports management. The second floor was the name of the school was called Leaders. I don't know the full name of it, but I just knew it as Leaders. And then the first floor was KCESS, which was like the Kingsborough Community College High School. And then we had another, we were half a floor because we shared the other half of the third floor with this school called International, which was just nothing but foreign kids who did not speak a lick of English.
So, wow. So you were on your own high school on your own floor.
Yeah, but when we made a sports team, it would be a mix of every kid, whoever wanted to be on the team, from each school would form one team, and that team would be Lafayette.
Okay.
Because we were the schools inside the Lafayette Educational Complex.
So how many, when all the floors merged into it, like how...
In the entire building, normal, I want to say like 1,000 kids in the entire building. 1,000 to 1,200 kids in the whole building. But in my graduating class, we had about 60.
Yeah.
60
small.
kids in my senior
That's
class.
Super small.
Yeah, everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
I went to La Jolla High, and also like small school, but that's really small.
No, yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah.
we had like a picture of like our whole graduating class, and we could like of all our graduation photos in like one showcase. We did it like every year with that graduating class, and like I think I still have the picture on my phone. Like it's so small you can fit them all on a wall.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like a successful school. Like it wasn't a bad school. You had your handful of bums and hood rats that went to the school, but then you had, kids like me, like the artsy kids and everything like that, who actually like made something with their lives,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm not like
And that school,
I wasn't
surprisingly, had a bowling team.
Lafayette had a bowl. Well, no, Lafayette wasn't the only high school that had a bowling team. All the Brooklyn schools had.
It's just funny. I don't picture
every school in New York had a bowling team. Almost every school, like every main school,
bowling's like really big in New York.
Yeah,
really.
No, well, it's not big, but like no, every like main high school had a bowling team because like you had like your bigger schools where it was just built like how a regular high school would be built.
Yeah.
Like we had James Madison High, we had Edward Murrow, Brooklyn Studio, Midwood, Fort Hamilton High School, and those all had bowling teams. And so did Lafayette, John Dewey. Like there was just a bunch of different schools, and they all had bowling teams. They all had wrestling teams. They all had basketball teams. They all had football teams. And the way it started was I tried out for football, and I made junior varsity. Because I wasn't like I was an athletic kid. Like, if I applied literally, like, I'm the type of person where I'm not naturally good at anything. Like, I'm really not. Like, I'm not naturally good at what I do.
Yeah.
But if I apply myself, I can be good at it.
Yeah, you're very coachable.
Yeah.
That's huge. I'm kind of similar. I'm bad at most things. I have a few things. I've always said this. I told Colleen this all the time. I'm not very good at most things. I'm bad at almost everything.
Yeah.
There are a few things I'm naturally gifted at that I've figured out over time. Like, oh, you're good at some of these.
Yeah.
There's a couple things. But for the most part, I'm just bad at things. But I'm very coachable. I'm very teachable. You can teach me, and I will learn.
Yeah. Like, I'm like CrossFit. I'm very mediocre at everything, but I make it work. Because that's what CrossFit is. You're very mediocre at conditioning, you're mediocre at strength, you're mediocre at endurance, and you put them all together, and you're good at it, and you become a good athlete.
And you have just a six-pack.
Yeah. Well, me, that minus a six-pack. I will never have a six-pack in my life. Yeah. Like, even when I cut down to, like, 45...
Yeah.
It's just not there.
Yeah.
It's just flat. I'm like The Rock. Like, The Rock doesn't have a six-pack. The Rock has a flat stomach. And The Rock has, like, 5% body fat.
Just like The Rock. I always say that.
Yeah, I think I'm better than The Rock, honestly. I think
you guys are...
I can't stand him, but I think
Wait, really?
Yeah, I can't stand him.
How?
So
likable.
No, not in my eyes. All right, let me tell you what happened back.
The Rock is so likable.
I got a history with The Rock going back to 2011. So we're talking like 11 years, from now.
Tension.
So as you know, The Rock used to be in the WWE.
Right.
Well, he used to be in the WWF when it was. And then back in like the early, I think it was 2004, he fought at WrestleMania, which is like, the wrestling's big show. Like, it's like their Super Bowl.
Right.
He fought at WrestleMania, fought against Stone Cold, won. And then he left to go do Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. Left to go do Hollywood. That's when he was filming like The Mummy and The Scorpion King and really starting to kick off his Hollywood career. Fine, cool. Like, you're not going to be wrestling for the rest of your life. Like, be versatile. And he was like the first wrestler to really do that. Not to just have his own movies, but be good at being an actor. But then 2011 comes by and he just waltzes back like it's nothing. I get it, old stars come back and they want to have like a onesie twosie match. Cool. But then he started talking smack about my guy John Cena. And I was a huge Cena fan at the time. And everybody hated Cena growing up, or all the adults in my house did, because, Cena was the Superman. He was the never gonna die, no matter how many times you hit him, you'll hit him with 10 of your finishing move, because, in wrestling, the finishing move is the big finisher of the match. And he just kicks out of the pin every single time and wins somehow, always faces the odds. I love that. Because I used to call him Super Cena. Yeah. Where it was you can literally set him on fire and he'll still win the match. Yeah. And I thought it was funny. It was like a running gag with me. And he would diss John Cena, and I hated it.
How so? How do you diss him?
He came out and he's 7 years ago when I was in WWE, we had real guys legitimate athletes, and now you have a guy walking around saying oh, you can't see me, because that's John Cena's thing, he walks around, he's you can't see me, and then he called him a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, because he was 1 month you're wearing a red shirt, next month it's an orange shirt, now it's a blue shirt, next it's gonna be a purple shirt. He's you're walking here like a fat bowl of Fruity Pebbles, which is cool because John Cena took that, ran with it, and he actually was on the cover of the Fruity Pebbles box, which I still own till this day. It's him and Bam Bam pouring the bowl of Fruity Pebbles. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they fought at WrestleMania, and The Rock wound up winning. Go figure. And I knew wrestling was staged beforehand. Right. I was like, this is stupid that The Rock could just come back, and they're just giving him matches. And then he challenged for the WWE title the next year against one of my favorite wrestlers, CM Punk. Yeah. And CM Punk just called it out as it was, and he was like, "Oh, you could just, you think you could do whatever you want? Sure, big Hollywood star." I just don't like The Rock. That was really. I just didn't like The Rock. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not, I don't expect you to get it. And plus, his movies suck. His movies suck. His movies suck.
So funny.
I liked the game plan.
He's funny. He's likable.
No, and no.
Yeah.
I liked him and the Mummy. Cool. Him and the Scorpion King. Cool. I liked the game plan and the Tooth Fairy. everything after that, I can give or take. I hate him and Kevin Hart together because it's...
No, I love him and Kevin Hart together.
No, it is...
Oh my gosh, their bromance is the funniest thing.
It's the same thing
so
every
good.
movie. No,
And
it's
I'm
literally
entertained every
just
time.
The Rock playing The Rock.
And
It's
Kevin
him
Hart
playing
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
That's all they do, but it's
No,
fantastic.
it's so boring.
It's so funny.
It's just him
Have
going...
you seen the video where like The Rock's like working out and he's got like a chain on, and then Kevin Hart makes a video of him working out with this like even bigger gold chain on?
Yeah.
You seen that video?
Those are funny. Those are cute. But in
so
like movies,
funny.
to just see the same part be played in every single movie that they're in, it's like, I'm bored. Like, I want to see something else, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, it's always The Rock being big bad guy that has a couple of funny lines, who's kind of quick-witted but kind of dumb, and like has a sensitive side for the kids. And Kevin Hart like making fun of The Rock because he's big, and The Rock making fun of him because he's short. And it's really funny because Kevin Hart really is short, and it's just he's a small man. He's like 5'6". And it's just like cool. In like one movie, I'm alright with that. In every single movie that they're in, you know, like.
I just think their whole back and forth is hilarious.
It's like I said, it's mediocre. It's good. It's not great.
Even we just watched. Kalina and I just watched because we mostly would just watch like together. Kalina and I pretty much watch Disney movies.
Nice.
And Marvel, like basically everything PG.
No, that's cute. I like that.
And so we watched. What's the Disney ride? They just made a movie. Jungle Cruise. We just watched
Jungle Cruise. Okay.
Yeah, which has The Rock in it.
Which is literally the same exact movie as Jumanji, as I think.
No, super different movie, but
It looks the same.
yeah, they're different. Jumanji's a good movie though, but Jungle Cruise was surprisingly enjoyable. I mean, if you go in knowing like this is a stupid Disney movie, that's based off a ride, it's very enjoyable, and The Rock was fantastic in it.
No, I bet he was. You know, and plus, you know, I didn't like him in the Fast and the Furious movies.
I didn't watch any of those. They look terrible.
I stopped watching them when they stopped being about racing movies and they were more about like spies, you know, saving the world. It's like, no, I just want to see muscular, greasy juice heads in fast room cars that I know I'll never own.
Yeah.
That have bodies that I know I'll never have. Who get women who I know I'll never get. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see you save the world. I see the world being saved in almost every movie. You know, if I want to be the world saved, I'll watch Spider-Man. I don't need to see The Rock, you know, save a movie. John Cena, on the other hand, I'll watch anything with John Cena.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything.
That's a good. I think that's actually a good point though. To let to have the movies stay in your lane.
Stay in your
almost.
lane.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
I think that's a good point because everything being about saving the world is overdone.
It's overdone. It's overplayed. I don't like it. Have you seen Uncharted?
No.
That's the Tom Holland movie.
I heard it was terrible.
No.
I heard it was really bad.
Where did you hear that?
The reviews.
Check your sources. Because they are. I saw it, and it was
I'm gonna check Rotten Tomatoes. This will stay on.
That's our microphone, Harry.
I know, it'll stay.
It'll stay. It's still going.
See the little microphone symbol?
I hope it's still going. This is our ASMR. I hope you like the sound of my voice as I stare. He's whispering.
Okay.
Now, let's take a look at this.
All right, Rotten Tomatoes. Hold on.
Because also on Rotten Tomatoes, they said Batman was a bad movie, but it wasn't.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. It got like a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Yeah. Which I think is wrong.
Yeah, that is wrong.
Like, the reviews are wrong.
All right, let's look at, what did you call it? What's
Uncharted.
We just saw, you know what we just saw?
It's with Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland.
We just saw The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and...
and Channing Tatum. How was it? Because I want to see that movie.
It was phenomenal.
Oh, I bet it was.
It was so good.
Oh, I bet it was the bee's knees because I really wanted to see that movie.
Oh, it was really good. Like, it was very enjoyable. It was hilarious.
I love rom-coms like that. Like, I've been excited for that movie since the trailer. I think I'm going to be an AMC Stubbs member.
I am a Stubbs member.
Are you?
Yeah.
What do you get?
Well, I'm at like the lowest tier of Stubbs member. So all you get is like it's like a reward system. You build points and then Tuesdays are discounted. Oh. So Tuesdays are like half off or something. So you get like $10 to go to the movies on Tuesdays.
Oh.
I hear you get a free movie every month or a free ticket every month.
No, I don't think so. No, but you build points, so you have a reward system like anything else. So you can, I mean, it takes a while, but you earn $5 or you earn a free.
You spend
popcorn.
a lot, you get a little back.
Yeah.
How much is it a month?
It was free.
It's free to be a Stubbs member.
Yeah, it's just you just have to pay for the there's like a Stubbs A list.
Yeah,
you have to pay to client. There's like different ranks.
Because
but get the free one for sure.
No, 100%, because I was talking to my stepmom about it, and she's a Stubbs member. Because her and I were, actually on April 1st, which was yesterday, we're recording this on April 2nd. April 1st is her birthday, so I called her on her birthday, and her and I were talking, and we were just like, there are like so many movies that are out or that are coming out that we just want to see.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see The Lost City. I want to see the movie Dog with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Jurassic World's coming out.
Yeah.
Sonic's coming out. Doctor Strange, that Doctor Strange movie looks, off the trailer alone, looks out of this world.
You also get a free refill on a large popcorn.
Oh, that's good, because I absolutely destroy popcorn within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
So Uncharted got 40% with critics, but it actually got 90% with audience.
Yeah, because it was a good movie.
That's interesting.
It was a good movie. It was Tom Holland being Tom Holland.
So critics hated it, audience liked it. Let's look at Batman.
Well, the critics need to go scratch their nose, because they think too much into movies sometimes.
Scratch their nose.
They need to go take a hike, scratch their nose, and rewatch the movie.
Okay, no, look. 85% for Batman for critics and 88% for audience.
When we went to go see it,
people like it.
Yeah, because when you and me and Brandon went to go see it, our friend Brandon, he was like, yo, Batman got like a bad review on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, really?
No, it didn't.
But maybe it's changed. Maybe it's changed,
Maybe it's
because that's
gone
what he said. But I'm surprised Uncharted got a bad review with the critics, because it was really good.
Yeah, I heard
and it was just
bad.
like the video game. It was just like the video game.
There's a video game?
It's based off of a video game.
I see, I didn't know that.
Do you live under a rock?
Yes.
Also, do you tuck your ears into your hat?
No, I tuck only one ear into my hat.
No, you don't.
I tuck
Why?
I always tuck one ear. It looks better.
No, it doesn't.
I know this is a disagreement. And I've actually only met one other person who tucks, and it's my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is the only one who understands. Yeah. Kalina's sister's husband.
Okay.
Okay. He's the only one who understands it because he's an ear tucker too. I've never met anyone else who tucks. I always tuck one ear into my hat and leave the other ear out.
Is it a specific ear? Do you do
I think it's always my left ear. It looks weird. It looks kind of. I have really big ears, so if I do like this,
no, you don't. That looks normal. That looks like you're wearing a hat.
No, I don't feel like my ears flaring.
I don't like it when those guys, they wear like a hat that's like a size bigger, and they tuck both their ears into the hat.
No, that's weird.
That looks stupid.
Yeah,
they look like they eat chalk for breakfast. But no, why one ear? I get the hair thing, because I do that sometimes. But I'm also right now, I just like it where my hair is like slicked back. But I do the hair like flaring out the hat a little bit. I have it in the tapestry. But
yeah, we should talk. We never acknowledged.
I kind of just wanted it to be a like a thing where they just notice. But
I like that you're petting my face. We should. This has been popular demand, so we're gonna do this.
So okay. The original name was supposed to be Two Peas on a Pod, but our intro music says Two Peas in a Pod. So I feel like it's kind of redundant to do on a pod. No, I don't. But he's really fixing it. But now it looks weird because it's darker.
Crap. Look, it's not gonna.
Now it looks Two Peas and a Pod. Make it into a peace sign.
That's like right here?
Yeah. There you go. And no.
Oh, yeah.
You messed this up royally.
Oh, wait, no, that works.
Yeah, Two Peas on a Pod. And then you still have a line to where it's like in a pod. So, interpret it how you may.
I like on a pod.
It could be whatever it's up for interpretation. It could be whatever you want. It could be Two Peas on a pod. It could be Two Peas
in a pod. It could be two peas, peace, and a pod. Ooh, two peas, peace, and a pod. Because we're two peas with peace and a pod cast.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh, this is such an ear tucker thing to do, Harry.
Such an ear tucker thing. That's gonna be the new thing. Gosh, you're such an ear tucker. Yeah, I really went wide and then trying to make a nice circle, and then I realized you don't have space here.
Yeah.
That didn't go super well.
Yeah, you just defaced public property.
Is it public property or is it your property?
It's you defaced private property. You defaced private property. Yeah. That's what you did.
Yeah, that's even worse.
That's what you did. But this came out so beautiful.
Yeah.
I made this at like 3:00 in the morning. Like I was like sitting in my bed, just alone in my thoughts, as every 22-year-old man would be. Right. And I was like, you know what? I gotta make us a logo.
Yeah, you did it.
I didn't. I really did. And all I did was I cut our faces out from some Facebook photos, and I just because originally there's two little pea pods.
Are you wearing Invisalign on these?
No, my teeth are just naturally that way. And it was also the lighting. I'll show you the original photo that I used.
Because you can't see the crevices.
It's the way the sun was shining on me because I took that because I saw this photo of you and I was like, okay, I got to take a similar photo in a similar angle. So the next morning I was sitting in my car and I just like kind of smiled and held the camera up.
Oh, so you took this photo for this photo?
Yeah.
Oh, see, these are the behind the scenes things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But ironically, I was like, oh, I'm already wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And it was just the way the sun.
I don't even know what this
shining.
is. What photo is that?
Some random Facebook photo of you. I just went on your Facebook, and I was like, okay, let me just stalk him, see which one he looks the cutest.
No idea. I guess I do look cute, huh?
You do. No, we look nice.
No, that's good.
We really do.
We're
I
not
like it. And everything came out in the same composition, you know.
Beautiful. No, you did a good job. I don't know what this is. Like, what's this little line? We don't need to worry about it.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know what that line is. That line can be the eye.
So, to bring it all back.
Should
we make a poll, even though it won't be revealed in this episode, who the best Batman is?
We could do that.
We might as well.
Let's do it.
Who are the Batmans?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, who's before
Ben Affleck.
Oh my gosh. Shouldn't even be considered a Batman.
No.
So upsetting that ever happened.
Oh, no, wait. That was the Batman vs. Superman Batman. He was the best one.
I don't like. You don't actually like Ben Affleck's Batman.
I liked Batman versus Superman. It was a fine movie. It wasn't like the bee's knees, but
you loved it. You did. You walk back. This is what I've learned.
No.
This is what I've learned. Over time, you come on really strong, and then over time, you walk it back. You walk those opinions back. You come on. That was the best superhero movie of all time, and now you're like walking it back, and you're saying, no. Like, look, it wasn't the bee's knees. Like, it's a fine movie. Like, you walked that back hard, bro.
Pause.
I'm not pausing. I'm going in on you right now.
Because you're like, it was horrible.
It was horrible.
It was a monstrosity of a movie.
It was a monstrosity. I'm not walking it back.
It wasn't.
It was.
It was fine. I left that theater satisfied.
Okay. So you, instead of going, no, it wasn't, it was fine. You try to match my level. Is that what happens? Okay. I go, this is a garbage movie.
You know how
hold on.
Okay.
I go, this is a garbage movie, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna meet you there at this is the best movie ever.
So that way
is that what you do?
I do that because it's like a bargain, right? It's like you're gonna lowball me.
You're hoping we meet in the middle. That it was fine. This is
you lowball, I highball. You go, all right. Well, you're saying 150. I'm saying 150. You're saying 200. Why do we come down to 175? That's my deal. Because okay, you ever go out like
I won't bargain on this. This is a terrible movie.
It was like if I had to compare it to anything, it's like going out to dinner and it's like okay, it's not like I ate a meal and it's like crap. I'm still hungry, or it's like I ate a meal and you leave and you're like I'm so full and I'm fat and happy and I could just die in peace right now. I'm not too full. I'm not still hungry. I'm satiated. I'm good. I can continue with the rest of my day and not skip a beat. That's exactly how I felt when I left that movie. When I left the movie with my little brother after watching it at the Highland Boulevard movie theater in Staten Island, New York, I was like, I'm fine. I remember that exact day too. I was like, yo, this movie was not bad. It wasn't mid. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was
terrible.
It was decent.
Horrible movie.
Like
I did not
It
have
was-
a problem with that movie.
Well, okay, you've walked it back really hard from our first episode. I think you called it the greatest superhero movie of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
No, the greatest superhero movie of all time is hands down Spider-Man 2. The original Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
That was a great movie.
That's the greatest superhero movie of all time, and I think a nice second contender is Avengers Infinity War.
You know what? I'm not into the Avengers. Any of the Avengers movies, I think are fine.
Harry.
Infinity War, like people crazy about Infinity War. And all that stuff.
Harry.
I don't like Avenger movies that much, is what I learned. You know what I like? I like single superhero movies, and if there's some other heroes in the midst.
But what I love
fine.
is that this was, okay, you gotta remember, when these Avengers movie came out, this was before the whole Disney MCU breakout where they gave every single hero a freaking spin-off show or spin-off series, right? This was when we only had the movies, so we were only getting, 2 Marvel movies a year, if that? So when these Avengers movies came out, it was, this was the first time in movie history where superheroes from different movies came together.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it's not that great. I mean, it's okay.
No,
but
because
here's what you lose. You lose good storytelling.
You don't.
Like, if you tell a really good, you take Batman, obviously that's DC, but, whatever, take Spider-Man. You could tell a really good story when you do a Spider-Man movie, or if you do a Hulk movie, or if you do a Iron Man movie.
Well,
but when you just mesh everyone together, it's just this weird. It's fine. It's not that I don't enjoy them, but I never find them as good as when you do a single superhero movie. You get so much more depth and detail and character development than you do when you're like, let's throw everybody.
No, because I like how now the way the Avengers movies were set up. It's like, oh, they're not just doing a trilogy. Because, with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, it was just a trilogy, and no singular movie really set each other up. Because in the end of each Spider-Man, it did in, minor ways, but, not, to where they made you certain, oh, there's gonna be another movie.
That's true.
Because, it's one of those things where, okay, you watch, the first Spider-Man, and then it's oh, Harry Osborn now hates Spider-Man, and then the second Spider-Man comes in, and you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense, because in the first movie, you realize it afterwards, but, when you're watching these Avengers movies, you're like, oh, I need to see Thor Ragnarok, so I know what goes on when the next Avengers movies come out, and now you're not lost. I hated Captain Marvel. I still hate Captain Marvel.
Terrible.
I think she should be thrown off a cliff, but, I only watched it because I'm like, this is essential to the Avengers movie.
Right.
And if I don't watch it, I'm not going to know who she is. I'm going to be lost. And that's how Marvel makes their money. And that's marketing genius. But
it is, I totally agree. It's part of the brilliance of Marvel is you have to see every Marvel movie, no matter how much they suck.
But some,
so you can stay
but here's the
with
thing.
it.
Some are
And
really
you have to
good.
you have to watch all the Marvel TV shows.
No, you don't.
You do.
I'm strictly on the movies, and that
You're gonna fall behind.
I know who Wanda is. I know
you
who
don't.
Vision. Yes, I do.
But then, not enough. You didn't watch the show.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know
You didn't
enough.
watch WandaVision?
No,
Vinny, you would love WandaVision.
I would, but I don't have time.
What do you mean? You said you watched 6 hours of The Sopranos.
That's the only show I watch. I don't watch television, Harry.
Watch WandaVision.
The only TV I watch besides Sopranos are sports games. That's it. And the news and the 6 o'clock news. That's all I watch.
You're almost done with The Sopranos, right?
Almost.
All right, finish that and watch WandaVision. You'll like WandaVision.
I will watch WandaVision if you watch Sopranos.
No, that's not the same thing.
Why?
Sopranos is 7 seasons long.
Give me minimum the first season. That's fair, because the first season is a really good season. Give me the first season of Sopranos, and you do what you want with every season after that.
Sopranos is going to make me sad.
It's not going to make you sad.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not going to make you sad. It's going to make you hate my people, but it's not going to make you sad.
All right.
It's going to make you, you know what it's going to make you? It's going to make you look at me and look at my people and be like, wow, I'm really glad that Vinny is not that. And Vinny is a pastor. And it's just going to make me want to keep me on this side of the stick even more.
Because I can't watch like I watched Breaking Bad when I was younger.
Yeah.
Loved it, great show, but I can't watch that stuff anymore. It's too dark, it's too intense.
No,
I don't want to watch
I would not recommend you don't watch it with your wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying I'm getting to the point where I can't watch that kind of stuff anymore either.
Yeah, because I will admit, because I know you said that Kalina gets very like squeamish. I think you said
not squeamish,
but
she's just super sensitive.
Sensitive to like to what like visionary stuff, like seeing like blood or images or everything. Because I will admit, it's a show filled with nothing but lies, sex, murder.
Yeah.
Like there's basically softcore porn in the show.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
It's
no, I already can't. You just described
adultery is in the show.
Yeah, no, you can't. That's why I didn't watch. I never watched Game of Thrones. I never watched any of that stuff. I don't watch.
I want to watch Game of Thrones now because I hear how good it is, but. You know what show I watched a couple of episodes of that is really good that I need to watch?
What?
Vikings. And that's a show where it doesn't have sex scenes up the wazoo like Game of Thrones. It's like 1 to 2.
It gets
crazy. I know.
I can't watch that kind of stuff.
I know.
It's like I know I'm getting biblical and stuff, but it's not.
It's horrible. It's filled with wieners in the show. Like have you ever seen the South Park episode where they make fun of Game of Thrones and they're like,
I don't.
Wiener. Yeah, because it's all I heard. It's nothing but wieners in the show. Like at least in one episode.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Nah, that's the only reason.
So
why
I can't make that deal but WandaVision's clean. You can watch WandaVision because it's clean.
Okay.
You can give
that's
me a
what
show.
I like about Marvel because it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, give me something I can watch that's clean because I can't. I'm participating, like the Bible says, renewing of your mind. See, biblical. Got to renew that mind.
Yeah.
I don't.
Can I renew the mind when I'm done with the last season of Sopranos?
You're so close.
I really,
Yeah.
Let me finish the race.
All right.
Christopher Moltisanti just died. Like I need to see what goes on.
And then continue getting sanctified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can I pay for the future?
Yeah. It goes back to that. That's awesome.
Oh God. I'm so glad I didn't turn out like that. So glad I'm not up to the point like where I was talking about. What are we on time, Mark?
Dude, we've had.
Wow, we are on an hour time. But you know what's so funny? We flowed.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, why don't we? I think to end it all, because this was supposed to be about Batman, and it really wasn't.
Let's say that. Let's put Ben Affleck's. Put Ben Affleck's Batman on layaway right now.
What do you mean layaway?
Like we won't talk about him now. We'll save him for later. That's a whole other can of worms.
We never have to talk about him ever.
Let's
just pretend he doesn't exist.
Let's agree to disagree on Ben Affleck.
No.
You don't want to agree to disagree.
No.
Come on, give me that.
No, he's terrible. It was terrible.
Give me that.
Did you watch the Justice League with him? Oh yeah, really bad, huh?
No.
You liked it.
Loved it.
Gosh, you're so. I don't know who you are sometimes. You just say the dumbest things.
It was great.
The Justice League was great. That was a garbage movie.
It had Superman. It had Aquaman.
Just because it had characters that you like doesn't make it a good movie, Vinny.
It had Jason Momoa.
Just because it had actors that you like doesn't make it a good movie.
It had Aquaman. Aquaman is the best superhero in all of Marvel and DC.
They're giving him another. He's getting a second movie soon.
I think he's better than every superhero there is. He's top dog.
Watch Vinny walk that back in a few weeks
Aquaman,
when I show him.
He talks to fish.
Trash
he
Aquaman
talks
is
to fish.
and how trash his movies
He's not
have been.
trash. He's not.
You know what I want to do? We need to sit and watch Aquaman, and I could do a review with you and just show you how bad that movie is.
Live stream on Patreon. We're gonna do this on the Patreon.
Yeah, people, you should spend your money on that.
Spend your money on watching me and Harry watch a movie together. No,
it's a terrible idea.
It's not a terrible idea, but. No, I think he's the best DC superhero. Spider-Man's the best Marvel superhero. Doctor Strange, I think, is the best Avenger. Just the Avengers from the MCU. If I'm just comparing superheroes from the MCU, I think right now Doctor Strange is so vital to the whole storyline. He's freaking awesome. Because you can do everything with him now because of the multiverse thing and going back in time. I think Doctor Strange is an underrated powerhouse, but that's a whole can of worms that we can get into.
Yeah, it's a different topic.
But he's one of those guys who was never popular to begin with. Because every other superhero was popular, when
he's just not cool enough.
No, he's cool.
He's not that cool.
Benjamin Cumberbatch.
I love Benjamin Cumberbatch, but he's still not that cool.
No, Benjamin Q. Cumberbatch made him cool.
You know what was a good series? Benjamin Cumberbatch is Holmes. You watch Sherlock Holmes?
I have watched Holmes.
Good.
Yeah.
That was a
Anything
really good
with the
series.
Batch in it is cool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Nah, he's a good guy.
He is. But I just don't like how his whole Doctor Strange thing is like, it's fine. I don't.
Are you saying it's mid?
Yeah, it's mid.
No, it's not mid. I don't think it's mid. I think he's vital to the story because he was
vital to the story.
He was vital to Infinity War. He was vital to Endgame. He was vital in Spider-Man.
Doesn't mean I like him.
In both Spider-Mans. In Far From Home and in No Way Home.
Sure.
Now he's going to be vital in Eternals, or he was vital in Eternals.
Also a terrible movie. Eternals was really bad.
Eternals sucked.
Okay,
but it's just one of those movies. Yeah. No, it's like, I get it. Right now Marvel is just spitting content up the wazoo with us. But
I say up the wazoo a lot. I think that's the third up the wazoo we've
because
gone
I can't say because now replace the word wazoo with a different word that you would say up the with. I can't say that.
Oh, okay.
So I say up the wazoo.
Oh, okay.
And also my mother says up the wazoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of set phrases I say a lot.
Yeah. I was realizing it was probably the third wazoo.
Like I've been saying, it's the
we've
third
gone
wazoo.
up. We've gone up a lot of wazoos.
We have been going up a lot of wazoos. Actually, you know that there's an instrument named the wazoo. It's a derivative of the kazoo. But it's a deeper version of the kazoo. It's the baritone version of the kazoo. It's actually, and all it really is it's a kazoo piece. And then on like a French horn or like a tuba where it's like the part that curves up with the wide part.
Yeah.
Take that piece, make it into a little attachment, and attach it on the top hole of the kazoo. And as you play the kazoo, you do this thing with the top part of it, and it makes a more baritone sound, and that's the wazoo.
Wow.
And the wazoo is also a body of water. Yeah, I know how to play the kazoo.
The wazoo is a body of water.
That's what a wazoo is. It's like a ravine type thing. Because when you say up the wazoo, it means you're going up the river.
See, I didn't know any of that.
I know a lot of facts that you shouldn't know.
Vinny,
I taught you that coffee was a diuretic.
Well, I knew that, but
you came to me and you were Vinny, I didn't know coffee was a diuretic.
No, I forgot. I had forgotten that one. Yeah. But last thing I want to touch on, because you made fun of me for tucking my ear. Do you tuck your jean collar?
No, kind of just did that.
Okay.
I went to go scratch myself because I was itchy. I think I kind of just did that on its own.
Okay.
No, I'm not aware. But sometimes I will give a little collar pop.
Oh, yeah.
If I
collar pop it.
Yeah, if I see a pretty girl on the street and I want to talk to her. How you doing? No, I don't. I don't do that. That's horrible.
I think you should put up a poll on Reddit.
Yes.
And we can talk about it next week briefly. Who the best Bruce Wayne is and who the best Batman was.
Yes. Right now, my predictions, I'm thinking that, what's his name? George Clooney is the best Bruce Wayne. I think that Robert Waddy the Baddy is the best Batman, and then I think Christian Bale is not great at anything but good at both, so he knows how to hybrid both. And then Ben Affleck, we're just gonna agree to disagree on it. He's the best Justice League member because he's all the only
bad. Yeah, they're
League
all
member.
Bad. What do you mean?
No, because not in. Christian Bale was never in the Justice League.
Out of those
He's
guys.
the best Justice League Batman. Can we agree on that?
Sure.
Can we agree on
we
that?
can agree on that.
Sure. And Jared Leto's the best Joker. And so this has been, what episode are we on? 5?
I have no idea. I will say, so wait, let me get my Christian Bale I think is the best Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And then I don't know who I'd say best Batman is. It would
you're not even saying George Clooney's the best Bruce Wayne.
No, I think Christian Bale's a better.
You need to rewatch. Have you seen that one?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's the one with him. It's the Batman and Robin movie. It's him. It's the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger is Dr. Freeze.
I remember. I saw it. It's just been a long time.
I have that movie still on VHS.
Wow. Do you have a VHS player?
I don't. Oh. But I have a lot of VHS tapes.
You should get a VHS player.
I should. I could probably get one for $20.
No, I remember him, and I think he's good, but I'm going to still give it to Christian Bale. I love Christian Bale. And then best Batman.
It would have to be Robert Waddy the Baddy.
I don't know. He isn't. The only thing I like better about Robert Waddy the Baddy is his voice. The voice thing was so much more natural, but fit perfect. Honestly, so I would give it that. I also liked his I totally just forgot what I was gonna say. Well, I like the fighting style of the other Batman better, and then what was the other thing? I don't know, but I think I like the which Batmobile did you like better?
This one.
You did like
Because they set it up better.
Did they? No.
Yeah.
The other one's like a military tank.
I don't like that.
It was kind of cool, but it was a little much.
No, I like
This
how...
one's a little more sleek, like classic Batmobile.
Yeah, and on the side, you see the blue flame come out of it.
Yeah, no,
he
it was pretty
drove
cool.
out of a burst of flames after a propane
The
tank
writing in this movie was
blew up.
pretty good too.
It was great.
It was really good writing.
This movie was
I liked the
awesome.
whole thing about like how he is the shadows. Like
is
they're
vengeance.
afraid. Well, he talked about in the beginning, like everyone's afraid of him coming out of the shadows.
Yeah.
But what they're afraid of is the shadows itself.
Now,
he is
yeah,
the shadows.
he made the shadows.
Him. In a
Him.
sense. It was really cool.
Yeah.
We
I
got to
like
end
that.
this podcast.
We got to end this. In all conclusion, to really conclude this, I just want Robert Pattinson to whisper "I am vengeance" in my ear every single night before I go to bed. That's all I want in life. But yes, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod. I lost my voice.
Yeah, no, we're both like kind of sick.
All right.
All right.
Dope.